Let's get into it. Coach Colin here. Man, there is so much smoke and mirrors happening with Kamala Harris. I've never seen anything like this. And the reason is, and none of us have, because it's never had to happen this fast. Usually the smoke and mirrors can be like a gradual build. But because of everything that happened with Joe Biden, the fact that they're trying to just install, they're just trying to shove her and her round self into a square hole. They're just trying to just jam this person in, not ask the American people, not consult with them, not do the proper democratic process. And now all of a sudden, the narrative that these mainstream talking heads are trying to pull off is that Trump is afraid to debate Kamala Harris. It's so crazy. I just saw this clip with Stephen A. Son. I always get those names mixed up. Stephen A. Smith, where he's going on this unhinged rant. I'm not even going to play it all for you guys. I'll just play like 2 minutes of it. But he's going on this weird rant talking about how Trump is afraid of Kamala. It doesn't even make sense. I'm going to stop it in between just to show you about the lawsuit that he's talking about. And then let's get into this, because this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. This is so manufactured.
Lawsuits, that's lawfare. That's deviating from what you said the Democrats were doing just because they couldn't beat you fair and square. If you want to bring up lawfare, is it because you scared you're going to lose to Kamala Harris? I'm just asking. That's what you said. You just asking. I'm just asking. Here's another quote from the real Donald Trump. The Democrats pick a candidate, crooked Joe Biden. He loses the debate badly, then panics and makes mistake after mistake. Is told he can't win and decide they will pick another candidate, probably Harris. They stole a race from Biden after he won it in the primaries. First, these people are the real threat to democracy. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that tweet. You're entitled to your feelings. You're entitled to express your thoughts. Just don't go the legal route. Because by going that route, you're engaging in lawfare. And according to you, that's what the Dems were doing because they couldn't beat you fair and square in an election. You might be right. Or then again, you might not. Let's find out.
God, this is so oh, man. And you know what? We really have to have a conversation of these people who get fired and then they're independent, but then they just fall lockstep with the mainstream media at the drop of a hat. It's weird when you see Jon Stewart has the same talking points as MSNBC and CNN, and Stephen A. Smith has the same talking points as MSNBC and CNN. It's like you're not independent. I don't even know. I don't even know if this guy actually got fired or if it's just like this ploy they put together. Because when he's a part of a big company, they don't believe him. But now all of a sudden he's by himself, he's independent, and now he's supposed to be this voice who's like, oh, he's unhinged, he can say whatever he wants now. You see, like Tucker, this happened to Tucker, and now everybody's doing it. Everybody. Chris Cuomo's like, hey, what's going? Oh man, I got fired. Let me tell you guys something. And now this guy, who's good friends with Chris Cuomo, not to be trusted. I liked a couple of things he was saying here and there, but this guy is not to be trusted. Now, when he's talking about lawfare and he's saying, don't go the lawfare route, don't be going to law, you said. Oh my gosh. You know what he's talking about? He's talking about this. So Trump's campaign actually filed a federal complaint. The reason that they filed a federal complaint is because what the Biden campaign did, okay, so Biden raises $91 million. People gave that to Joe Biden on what Joe Biden was running on the fact that Joe Biden beat Donald Trump the last time. So that's why they're giving it to Joe Biden. His policies, what he wants to do, right? His taste in ice cream, things like that. So what they do is they change it from Biden for president to Kamala for president, and they think that's grounds to transfer that $91 million to her. That is not how it works. What's actually supposed to happen is all of that money, the FEC is supposed to make sure all of that money that was donated goes back to the people it was donated to. And if they want to donate it to Kamala Harris, they can do that with ease. That's what's supposed to happen. They've just decided, they're just like, oh, we're just going to change it. That's all. You can't do that. That's why they filed the complaint. Because not only is she just taking the position without any kind of actual due process, so she doesn't have to go through a primary, she doesn't have to raise the $91 million herself. She's just stepping into it all like, oh, okay, I get this money. Okay, I'm the nominee. Oh, this is crazy. If this was Trump, you can't just have somebody installed. Like, if this was Trump doing this for Vivek, people would lose their minds. Actual heads would be exploding. It would be crazy. People would be going nuts. Lawsuits? Do you know how many lawsuits they'd come up with if Vivek was taking over for Trump just out of nowhere? And he was just like, all the money. Yeah, I get all the money. It's fine. And he didn't have to go through a primary. They would lose it. They would go crazy. You know why? Because they spent all that time smearing Trump. Then all that fades away. And that's exactly what the Trump campaign's going through right now. They've had their whole thing positioned to Biden. And weeks ago, Trump did say Biden's out. He called it. He called it before, Vivek called it first. But Trump right after was like, just a few weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, he was like, right after the debate, he was like, he's done. He's done. We're going to have to go after Kamala. He's like, I'm not worried about Kamala. She's so bad. Pathetic is what he called her. But still, it's not right. So that's what he means when he says lawfare. Absolutely ridiculous.
Let's find out. Straight up. You against her. Getting a little scared now?
How is he yelling and whispering at the same time? Can anybody explain that to me? And why does he have a unicorn suit on? What's going on here?
I'm just asking. I don't know. But bringing up all of this legal stuff with Mike Johnson, and J.D. Vance, it sounds scared. Y'all sound scared. What y'all doing being scared of Kamala Harris for? What's up with that? Scared of the ladies now? You scared of the vice president, huh?
And then he bites his finger. What is going on? What is this? It's so weirdly manufactured. Just out of nowhere. You sound scared. So you know what? It is a little scary, actually. You made a presidential candidate stand down, and you made him endorse this woman. And this woman doesn't have to go through a primary. She's taking all of his money. And you're not consulting the American people. You're saying it's for democracy. You're circumventing democracy. And you're like, what are you, scared? Yeah. You're operating like a totalitarian system. This must have been like what Putin did before Putin became in power. Like, it must have been the same stuff. Like, oh, this guy, he's too sick now. So I take his money, I take his spot. You want to debate in this dark room? Come. Like, what? No, I don't want to know. No, what's going on? And now he has to debate her. And all of a sudden, because they're running this weird game plan, at any moment, they could be like, Kamala's down by 10 points. And she'll just go, oh, my chest. I've never felt this before. Oh, I have to lay down in this car. Brrrr. Car just speeds off. You never see Kamala again. She's just on a phone. Oh, my friend Michelle's taking over. Oh, sorry, bye. And then Michelle doesn't even have to debate anybody because she can't debate. That might be the plan. That might be the plan. Because she can't, she can't debate at all. Biden takes one for the team, Kamala takes one, and then Michelle just runs. No debate, nothing. I don't know. But yeah, that's actually kind of scary. But at the same time, we're talking about Donald Trump, okay? He's giving speeches in front of thousands of people after he just got shot. And we're suggesting that Donald Trump, who's had to take on the entire deep state and both political parties and defense contractors and world leaders, is afraid of this.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
What we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been. What can.
Are you kidding me? It's a 4-minute compilation of her saying that line over and over again. She's saying it over and over again. And this is what Trump is supposed to be afraid of. This is very scary. Who knows? You know what I mean? She's not a prosecutor anymore. She can't lock him up wrongly and keep him in jail for 6 years and hide the evidence. That's a real thing that happened. I was just actually watching a Vice documentary about it. Vice actually covered it. Guy was in jail for 6 years because she put him in there. She even showed up to his hearing. He said she made it really personal. Guy got out. He only ended up getting like $13 million in the settlement, which is something, but still 6 years of his life just gone. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that's what Trump is supposed to be afraid of. It's such a weird manufactured lie. In fact, I'm working on a video called the Kamala lie because it's a lie. This is a weird lie that they're putting together right now. It's very odd to see. They're having her do things like buy records. And she's like, I bought some jazz records. Do you know music? Oh, I'm pulling out. It's just everything's so manufactured. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about reentering former offenders and getting them counseling.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Our Democratic Party, unfortunately, is not the party that is of, by, and for the people. It is a party that has been and continues to be influenced by the foreign policy establishment in Washington, represented by Hillary.
Bro, let me tell you something. Okay, there's a pecking order to this whole thing, right? Plus, all those things you just heard, completely true, disgusting behavior. It's absolutely wild. That guy that I just brought up, wrongly convicted 6 years because of her, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Everything Tulsi said, there's way more. Biden helped get that criminal 1994 crime bill started, but Kamala, ran that thing. She was like, oh, we can put more black people in jail? And Biden's like, yeah. And she's like, okay. I'm in California. There's a bunch. And she just started locking people up like crazy. It was absolutely wild. But let me just say, there's a pecking order to this whole thing. If you can't handle Tulsi, let me tell you something. You can't handle Donald Trump, okay? Let's just be clear. If Tulsi ran you out of a presidential race, Tulsi, then believe you me, you're done. You're done. You're done when it comes to Donald Trump. And that's another thing. The reason that they're not having her do any primaries is because this will happen again. May not be Tulsi, but it'll be someone. If Gavin Newsom has, let's be real. I don't like Gavin Newsom at all. If he goes up against Kamala Harris, she's done. She's done. It's over. It's ridiculous. Anyways, guys, I just went a little too long. Little too long. But the fact that they're manufacturing this weird stuff, and Stephen A. Smith has his finger in his mouth. He has his finger in his mouth. He's wearing a purple suit. Like, what's going on? What's happening? You know what I mean? They're just all in lockstep. Every black person who does whatever the media tells them to do, whatever these people behind the scenes tell them to do, they're all just walking in lockstep. This guy's pretty much becoming a male Joy Reid. Same hair and everything. Same deranged look. Oh my God. Finger in his mouth. Let's just end it on that, guys. If you watch Stephen A. Smith, hit his comment section and say, take your finger out of your mouth. Oh my God. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. I'm out.